Hey everyone. So today what we're going to do is test out these gluten-free flours, see how much water we have to add to make it at each of the stages that I did for the gluten flours, and then we can see how close each of the gluten-free flours is to the gluten flours by the amount of water that they each absorb. This is going to help us a lot figure out which one is best in which recipe. All right, let's jump into it. So this first batch of gluten-free flour that I did, Namaste was the most interesting. So I've gone through and looked at all of the other flours so far. The white gold, all-purpose, gluten-free flour, cup for cup, multi-purpose flour, and Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free flour, the rice-based version. And Namaste is also rice-based like these other ones, but the numbers were very interesting. So let's go ahead and start out with the dry weight. So the dry weight of the Namaste was 152 grams, much lower than the gluten-containing flours. The amount of water we had to add to get to the crumble stage was 60 grams. To get to the crumble stage for gluten flours, the most that we had to add was 31. So this is going to be twice the amount of water that we needed for the whole wheat to get to that stage. And some flours needed as little as 5 grams. And that was for the pastry. Now, the typical was around 15. The self-rising flour, unbleached flour, spelt flour, those are all around 15. So this is significantly more water needed. Now, to bring it to a dough stage, we needed to add 110 grams. Okay, so again, we're looking at significantly more than twice what the cake flour needed. The highest amount of water we had to add to get to a dough stage for the gluten flours was 89 grams, and we are looking at 110 here. So we are looking at needing significantly more water here. But it doesn't look like it's far off from too many other gluten-free flours. Now, here's where it got really interesting. Bring it to the stage to get a thick batter, like you would need for cake. We needed 259 grams of water. Now that was significantly higher than most. However, it was right in between what you needed for this spelt whole wheat. So those are the ones that needed the most out of those gluten-containing flours. And it really was like right in the middle, 259 for the Namaste. Spelt needed 227, whole wheat needed 270. So we're really looking right at that same spot. But when we wanted to make that batter thinner, like a pancake batter, something that is going to be spreadable, 550 grams of water. That's a good twice as much water as most. Very interesting. So the most water that any of the flours with gluten needed was 336 with the whole wheat. And so we're looking at 550. So that's a good 200 grams of water more than the highest gluten containing flour. And to be honest, I've used Namaste before. I've enjoyed it in a lot of recipes. And so this didn't surprise me too much, but it did surprise me a little bit because of how significant that was. I'm really interested to see how this is going to compare to the other gluten-free flours. All right, I guess we'll have to stick around and see.